Hey, how's it going, Kent?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Appreciate you asking. So I want to have you on here today just because you've been very impactful in my life for the past year, 2019. We spent a lot of time together. We've traveled across the country together as well as out of the country recently to Cabo San Lucas. And I want to have you on, one, just to introduce you to some of our members of my REIA group, Great Orlando Real Estate Investors Association. I know you're going to be there in about a week, guest speaking, and just ahead of time, since people may not know you, since you're actually coming from across the country, from California to visit us, I want you to just kind of give people a heads up on who you are and a little bit of information about you for people that may not know.
Yeah, no, I love it, dude. I mean, happy to, I'm excited to come out there, number one. And yeah, it's been an exciting year for you and I, that's for sure, right? I mean, basically this time last year was really, this was find and flip last year, right? I mean, so this was.
I had just met you a year ago, and to think everything that we've done in the past year together has been, it's been a whirlwind. Like a year has flown by.
Yeah, right. It's pretty crazy when you think about it like that. I mean, because this has been, that's an intense year.
Yeah, a lot of impact. I mean, my life has changed immensely since the time I've been in your arena. There's been two people. It's been you and another person that's had a tremendous impact. And for me this year in my REIA group, my whole goal is to use the leverage that I have on traveling across the country and meeting some of the best educators in the business. Yep. And bringing them so that my members can get a taste of what I've been privileged to over the past year and why you're so impactful. So if you can just take a second and tell us a little bit about yourself and some of the businesses that you run.
Yeah, so I'm the CEO and founder of Real Estate Worldwide, and that is a software and education training company. We have we started back in 2006, and so that particular company. So I've been doing it for a while now, right? And that entire business was born out of two things. One, a concept that I came up with that I was very successful with in the real estate space called reverse wholesaling, and I had done that in a previous business and built just a monster of a company. And so then when I got in real estate, I kind of brought that same concept with me. And in teaching people how to do that and then ultimately kind of automating those processes, we developed a software company. And now, I'm really proud that over the last few years, we've had almost 60,000 people buy our products and services. We got tens of thousands of people that use our smart software every single month. We've helped, from that we spawned off our Boardroom Mastermind, which you're very familiar with and a part of, and been able to create real impact there. And then, on top of all of that, we also run a really successful real estate investment company. My family does, right? Started off as Memphis Invest. We just changed the name to REI Nation, but that's a company that's flipping, buying and selling and flipping 900 plus properties a year, and continues to do that every single year after year. So we got a lot going on, but it's fun. It's exciting. And like I said, we get to do cool stuff like you pointed out earlier, travel around the country and help create a lot of impact with people, which is what we're all about.
That's absolutely phenomenal. Like, I love the fact that you have, from your real estate investing business, you've created these products to help simplify other investors' lives. You have software that helps you find motivated sellers. You have software that helps you find cash buyers so you can actually sell the property to them. You have the software that helps you skip trace people. Just like pretty much anything that you need, you've created the software to help simplify investors' lives. And not only that, you're providing education, not only from your initial business, but you're providing education to teach people how to do exactly what you do. It's phenomenal. And then not only that, you're even motivating them to get them to do the stuff that you're teaching them and giving them the tools and the products. So with all of this, you're just creating this great system for people to get dialed into. And not only that, once they get dialed in, then you create a higher level of learning, which is through the mastermind, Boardroom Mastermind, which I'm a part of. And I've traveled all over the world. I mean, all over the country last year and outside to Mexico with you. So I'm truly grateful to be a part of that. Let me ask you this. So like through all of this stuff going on, how are you able to manage your time and have some balance with all of those different things? Because I know you're a family man, you're a father, you're also a husband, you're also a friend to people. So how do you even manage these things? What's kind of what you're...
Yeah, as the saying goes, you do it wrong enough, long enough, you'll figure it out, right? And so I haven't always been great at it, but I take a lot of pride in the last 15 years. I've started to kind of get it really dialed in. Got a second lease on life, and you are a product of who you surround yourself with and the decisions you make, right? And so a lot of people put off decisions, put off things. Tell themselves success is impossible, tell themselves that they don't have time for their family or don't have time to work out. And the reality of it is you just make it a priority. It is the first thing. And it sounds, crazy, simple, and it's because it is. We make it complicated. It's not that complicated, right? At the end of the day, you set the priorities, you decide exactly what you want to do, you carve that time out, you put it on a calendar, you do what is necessary to make that time available to the people around you. Because what people lose sight of is that, business is fickle, right? And it can be gone like this. And so to go and build a business or sacrifice so much for a business without keeping good control with your family, meaning without actually making the time, is just ridiculous. Because what's going to be left if it goes away? Right.
And business. Falls, I was listening to one of your podcasts the other day. We're in business, and one thing happens, it goes away, and you don't put in the time with your family, right, the kids, your friends, the people that are important to you. That goes away, and you're going to be left looking around, going, "Man, what did I do?"
By the way, ask me how I know that, right? Because that actually happened to me.
I listened to the Joel Marion podcast that you did, part 1 and 2. The last couple of days I went on, it's funny because I went on a long walk with my son, and just put in my headphones and listened to it. And it was very, very impactful. Just some of the things you said. It talks about your story. Mm-hmm. It also just talks about that exact thing about having balance in your life. It's so crazy because the 2 bracelets that I wear is the Time Is Now bracelet that I've been wearing for the past year. And then the other bracelet says balance on it, which I've been wearing for the past year. So I know the time is now, but then I can't get, too dialed in where I don't have that balance in my life between family, health and fitness, between my business, my team. So there's always a balance. And I want people to know, even my members, I always talk about this, is there's absolutely a balance. You want to grind hard and go hard, but don't forget, what are you doing this for at the end of the day?
Yeah. And we are, we're really good at telling ourselves that I'm making these sacrifices or doing these things for my family, right? That's the way we justify these things that we do. And the reality of it is your kids are never going to remember any of that stuff. What your kids are going to remember is how much time you spent with them. Your wife's going to remember how much time you spent with her. That's the stuff that actually matters. And now, I will tell you that I grind and work and am extremely passionate and go as hard as anybody else out there. But, as you were alluding to earlier, I do it and do it in a way where, every morning I have the priority for my kids, and taking them to school and all these things. We make it, my wife and I make time for each other. We make time to go on vacations with our kids and do these things that, like we said, we're in the business of collecting moments. We're not in the business of collecting crap. And when you kind of live that way and design your business that way, it's totally possible.
And one of the things that you're going to be, and I wholeheartedly agree. And one of the things that you're going to be talking about at the meeting is just scaling your business. So this segues right into scaling your business and why it's important for you to, think about scaling your business as opposed to just being a one-man show that's doing everything. Because at the end of the day, one thing that I did learn from you is, do you own a business or does the business own you? And if you can't answer that question, then basically you have a high paying job at that point. A lot of people think they're entrepreneurs and business owners, but at the end of the day, you typically just have a high paying job if you can't, take a step away from it for a lengthy period of time and come back, doors are still open and money's still in the bank.
Right. Right. I mean, it's most people, and we all go through it, right? So most people when they get started in business, they effectively, like you said, they're taking on a ton of risk, but they don't own a business. They own a job. And scaling, automating, putting processes, putting people in place, putting SOPs in place, managing through the KPIs, all these things are what ultimately create time freedom for you, which then again helps to create the balance.
Okay. And one of the biggest things is just a few actionable items for my members is just it's important to come to meetings like the Greater Orlando Real Estate Investors Association, like I'm talking about, because you'll hear these messages and you hear this message enough times, you get an actual game plan from someone like Kent Clothier, and then you can start taking the proper steps to getting you to where you want to go. It's just, it's nothing that's going to happen quick. It's just a journey, and every journey begins with a single step. And, you know, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about coming to our meeting actually is going to be on January 23rd. So it's this Thursday coming up. It's from 6 to 9, and it's at the Shao Insurance Group on 1021 Douglas Avenue in Altamont Springs. But one more thing, Kent, tell me, what are you working on right now that really motivates you? What's one thing that you have going on in one of your businesses, something that is getting you excited, like right now? Is it the education? Is it the helping students grow, mentor them, the coaching? What is it for you?
You know, this we've done our big live events for the last 10 years, our Find and Flip and our Scale and Escape. And we took a step back this year and decided we were going to do smaller events and do them monthly, right? 20 to 40 people instead of doing 400 and 500 person events. And that's been, I'm really excited about that. That's been we've done that now. We've done these types of events for the last 4 months. And it kind of has reinvigorated me, right? Having the ability to get right down in there with somebody and watch that light bulb go off with somebody and see something where you know you're really, really creating an impact in somebody's life right in front of you, right? And that's not very easy to do at these big, large events. You know, like you said, and like you've seen, you know, you get up there and we do what we do, but that connection is difficult to make. You think about
it's like a concert, like going to like a big concert or going to like a very small venue concert. It's very intimate, and you can ask your questions without feeling overwhelmed.
Right.
And you can get actionable items.
Right. And so I'm really, really excited about that. I'm really excited about where Boardroom's going. I mean, I'm pretty pumped. I've been distracted for the last couple of years working on other businesses. And so to get back into this particular business hardcore and at this level is, like I said, it's been very, you know, invigorating for me. Like I'm re-energized about it. So I love it.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I know you're pretty busy with what you're doing right now and where you're at. I just want to say I really, really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today. I'm really looking forward to the time that we're going to spend over the next week as you come into GOREIA. Then I'll be spending a couple of days with you just after that. So I'm really pumped up about that. Hope you have a great weekend. One thing, where can people find you online if they want to look you up before our event next Thursday? How can they find you?
I'm easy, man. You can go to Instagram and just look up Kent Clothier, or you can go to Facebook and just look up Kent Clothier, or literally just go to kentclothier.com, one or the other, or all, right? I mean, I'm kind of all over the place when it's not. And like
if you go to one, Kent will find you on the other one.
And be careful, because I assure you, if you go there, you're going to see my face forever.
and you'll be teaching people how to do the same thing as well.
That's right.
I'm excited to learn about that as well. Well, listen, hope you and Seema have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you here in a few days. Thanks so much for hopping on here.
You got it, brother. Take care. I'll see you this week.
Thank you.
Peace.
See ya.